Hi guys, it's Lita. So this is that, sorry about my empty room by the way. This is that one video that I was telling you guys I would make about my experience while I was offline. As most of you know, I do choose to be pretty open about my past and my just how I got through things and stuff, just because I want to help some of you go through the same, or get through the same things, because I don't know, sometimes you just feel like you have no direction or anything, so hopefully a video like this will help anyone who's going through a similar issue. So basically what led me to leave YouTube in the first place is that I had had ongoing depression, that had gotten to severe depression for 3 years, in addition to anxiety. I had gotten medication for the anxiety about 2 years ago, or a little over 2 years ago, but I didn't think about depression as a factor, and I just kind of wanted to take care of it for myself. I wanted to be able to overcome it without the help of medication or a therapist or something. So I was just kind of being really stubborn and didn't take it as seriously as I should have, and it kind of crept up on me because I didn't even really realize that I was depressed. So what happened was, on just, I think it was like August 27th or something that I deleted my channel and everything. On that day I had been told that there was like some really negative comments going on in my videos, which happened a lot, but for some reason just that day I completely snapped. Like I literally just, my psychological well-being just kind of just crumbled while I was at Target actually, and you know, it was just like a huge episode of hysteria all of a sudden. And so my mom spent some time calming me down, and then I came home and made the decision that I was going to delete all of my sites because I just needed to disappear. It was like I couldn't handle it anymore. I felt like it felt like literally everyone hated me, because I know that's not the case at all. It's just that I really desperately needed help and didn't get it. So at this point, like almost like 95% of my thoughts were completely irrational. So first lesson, if you think that you do have depression, please go get help for it, because it can get really bad. Now, for the first like 2 days after deleting all of my websites, it was, I felt a lot better. My head was like pretty clear, but I still hadn't gotten help for like actual mental like illness, psychological problems. But then after about 2 days is when things got a million times worse. Basically I started having these like mild hallucinations almost, you know, like, yeah, it was like mild auditory and visual hallucinations. And I had no idea where they were coming from. It was super, it wasn't even like YouTube related or anything. It was just that like I would have these like horrible, like, I can't even describe how horrible they were, images of like the people I love getting killed, and like it was really graphic, and like or me getting killed. For some reason I was living that, you know, like every single thing that I would think of, I would live it. Like I wouldn't be able to tell if I was in my head or in reality. So it got really bad. And this was like a constant thing, like it was just like constant hysteria and confusion. Like I was just completely delirious basically. And I found out the first time I went to my psychiatrist, which was about a month, maybe 2 weeks, yeah, it was about a month actually, after I deleted all of my sites. My psychiatrist said that such a huge change in my life, which was leaving YouTube, instead of doing me good, it had actually sparked some, like a mild case of PTSD. At that point it was severe, but my antidepressants are also used to slightly treat PTSD patients. I mean, there's no like actual treatment for it, but it helps with the symptoms. So there was that, and then there was also depersonalization or derealization disorder, which is where you kind of just don't feel like you're real. You don't feel like anything that's happening around you is real, and that I go through like week-long periods where I feel like that. I just kind of feel like a pair of eyes. And then depression, of course, and anxiety. The medication didn't really work for quite a while. It started working, I think, after about a week. But I mean, that doesn't seem like a very long time, but for me, it was a super long time. A week was way too long to wait. I mean, it started getting like a lot better. Before I had started taking my medication, I couldn't even leave the house. Like, I didn't leave the house for like a whole month because I was afraid that I was gonna die. It like every single thing around me I thought was gonna kill me. And every morning when my mom would go to work, I would start crying then too, like hysterically, because I thought that it was the last time I was ever gonna see her, because I thought that something was gonna kill her too. And like there were points where like we went to the grocery store together, and she went in the grocery store, and I just like completely lost it in the car because I decided to stay in the car. I completely lost it while she was in the grocery store because I thought that I like was thoroughly convinced somehow that there was a gunman in the grocery store and that I wasn't going to see her again. So basically it was just like I completely lost it. So I mean, it's a really good thing that I left, even though it technically made things a little bit worse for a while, but I think I needed to go through that in order to come back. Luckily now things are actually completely better. Well, like not completely, there's still like some remaining minor issues, but you know, like I can tell like what's what now, and I can focus and go out and do stuff. In fact, I actually get all like squirmy if I don't go out and do stuff. So yeah, it's the thing is that when I was going through all of this, I really genuinely thought I would never ever get out. And I've never really in my life, except for one other time, thought that I would be just better off dead. But at the same time, I was really conflicted because I was afraid of death. So I was like, okay, I feel like I shouldn't be alive, but at the same time, I am terrified of dying. And so it was like, that was like constantly what was going through my head. It was just like, I just want to disappear. It was kind of just like living a nightmare. Even though technically the things around me were fine, my conditions were fine, it was just what was going on in my head that was just destroying me. Which I mean, that's what a mental illness is. So what I basically wanted to say is in the end, I had to make some minor life changes and major life changes, and, you know, cut certain people out, bring certain people back in, things like that, and then I'm moving, you know, so all of those things contributed to making me better, and like I said, it's still, like, I've still got a long, like, road ahead of me for this, but I'm at the point where I can completely control myself, pretty much. There are times when I get, like, some crazy anxiety and stuff, but I can pretty much get myself out of it after a while. But basically, if you're in a situation like that, if words even help, because I know, for me, I don't think words could have helped. I couldn't even help myself, and neither could anyone else at that time. But if you're going through a similar situation where you aren't sure whether you even want to be here or not, or if you can't tell who the hell you are or who the hell, you know, what's going on or anything like that. Basically, if you're suffering from any mental illness, just keep trying, because although there are a lot of mental illnesses that aren't curable, they are treatable. So, and it does get easier to cope with the more that you try. And I just really had to keep the belief in my head. That's one trick that I've used my entire life, is just believe that it'll happen, and it'll most likely happen. You know, you just have to be like very hooked on the idea that it's gonna happen. So I would always tell myself, like, I have to keep going, you know, there's something ahead of me. So just keep in mind that you can do it. There's gonna be like countless times where you tell yourself that you can't. Trust me, that's all I would tell myself like that entire period of time, was that I couldn't do it. But there was just something like in the back of my head that was like, come on, you know, you've always been able to do it. Like, don't let this shit stop you. So just tell yourself the same thing. Just be like, I can beat this. I gotta do it. Like, I have to do it. And you'll be extremely proud of yourself afterwards, honestly. I mean, like, I can't believe that I made it through that. And also, another thing I wanted to mention is don't be ashamed to talk about things like this. No matter if it's like a physical disability or like a mental disability or a mental illness or, you know, just some sort of ailment, I don't really think it's anything to be ashamed of. It's just a part of who you are. That's another thing that helped me cope with it, was that I acknowledged the depression and the PTSD and the anxiety and everything. I acknowledged it as a part of me. But yeah, so that's why I had to leave. I was just really not stable whatsoever. Like I said, if you feel like you might have something wrong with you, go check it out, because a psychiatrist or a therapist can tell you, and it's good to get it taken care of before it gets completely out of hand. Believe me. So anyway, I'm back, and I'm glad to be back, and I feel better than I have in years, actually. Like I said, I had ongoing depression and anxiety for over 3 years, and now it's like I'm able to cope with it a little bit. I'm still on medication and I still have like some treatment stuff to do, but you know, I feel great. And I haven't had this much fun or smiled this much or like been this carefree in a long time, and I'm glad to be back. So I hope that did help some of you guys, because I know that a lot of you do have problems of this or like this of your own. Actually, I'm sure the majority of you do. I mean, like, most everyone has their own issues, whether they show it or not. So if you are going through something tough that is similar to what I went through, then I really hope that this was able to give you an insight on how I beat it. You just gotta really hang on there and kick its ass, you know? So, alright. Well, like I said, I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys more than anything. Like, yeah, I literally have tingles, like, in my boobs, honestly. Honestly, my boobs are tingling because I'm excited. Okay, I love you guys, and I will see you again soon. Okay, I love you. You're all my little special babies. Okay, bye.